Okay, good afternoon. So the agenda for this meet is or session is to walk you through the framework or the by using BDD Cucumber framework we have implemented and like I have and worked on KJ we have implemented modules of KJ through BDD automation. So so I have tried to create a framework with respect to BDD Cucumber, so technology and using Java plus Selenium as well internally. Uh, so we'll see that what I have implemented in my current framework, which would help all the team member has to them to utilize if they see any project that they can utilize further. Uh, so we are using BDD approach. So earlier it is an previously like was the TDD approach from which BDD have evolved. So BDD is nothing but behavior driven development. So basically uh, basically in TDD we were doing like test driven development and I can say at that time when we use traditional development process like TDD process. So in that we are like whatever stakeholder or whatever business analyst or product owner, they are stakeholders is giving the requirement and we have according to that QA and development team are working on that. So in by we are using BDD approach. So basically in BDD approach we are according to like scenarios, behavior, or development. Accordingly, we are developing BDD is all about like collaboration between teams. So all the people are on the same pace, like development, like it is developer or manual tester or automation tester or whether it could be a stakeholder. So it could be a collaboration between the business team and technical team. So BDD approach builds a common understanding on the behavior of the application. So like we can generate common documentation that can be understood by all the team and stakeholder. So basically how test cases are written in given when then. So according to that we are mentioning into our feature file. So I have created one feature folder over here, and in that basically like if I want to write any scenarios or any functionalities, accordingly I have mentioned in feature and scenario wise. So basically first I'll consider about our internal knowledge junction website. Um, so basically we have a knowledge junction website. So in which we have to automate our test cases through automation BDD. So first it will going to get login. It will going to put credential, username and password, and after that it will going to land to the knowledge junction web page. And accordingly I have mentioned I have created separate we have created separate config.properties file in which already we can mention like browser. So it is accepting key value pair, like in key we can mention like browser, we can mention Chrome and uh, hello. Just let me know if I'm fast or if I'm not audible as I'm speaking, so I won't be able to understand what you people are. Um, am I audible to you guys, or if you have any difficulties or in understanding? Hello, team.
Vijay, you're audible.
Yes,
It's
I'm
okay.
very much clear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, Let me know if I'm going fast or if any one of the team member having any doubt, they can stop me and I can resolve their doubt at that time as well. So basically in config dot properties, we have mentioned key like browser, Chrome. We can use any browser like Chrome or Firefox or IE. So accordingly, like this is a project structure, basically feature. In feature, I have mentioned all my feature file like module. I separated all the like add best practices dot feature, browse best practices, and accordingly we are implementing further. We will going to implement more. So like best practices is there. So we have successfully done in phase one, um, uh, add add links and tools gateway, and second phase we have completed browse best practices and add best practices, and further followed by different module will be going to get covered. So I have created separate, and after that report file is there. So in that like after execution report will going to get generated. So HTML, it is generating HTML report and as well as PDF report, and a screenshot if there is a failed scenarios. I'll come afterwards on this point. In SRC folder we have like resources and like Java uh, folder. In that we have mentioned uh, this. Just give me a minute. Yes. In this, I have mentioned separated hooks and then page object I have mentioned, and step definition folder runner class I have mentioned in this, and utility. So I was talking about like config properties. So for writing like a browser Chrome, so separately we have created a class for set browser. So using switch case, we have mentioned like Chrome. Like it depend upon user or depend on the person who is according to them they can use their like browser, like it will be Chrome, Firefox, IE, Edge, or accordingly like we have mentioned like driver dot Chrome driver over here, and it will going to delete all cookies, and it will going to maximize the windows. After that in that config.properties URL has been mentioned, which URL we have to land, or we have to get that URL, and accordingly we have mentioned username and password to log in. uh, so and after that we are considering that framework into our Maven. So accordingly we have to mention all the dependencies into our pom.xml file. So for using BDD like Cucumber, we have mentioned um, Cucumber dependencies in pom.xml file, here Java, JUnit, Cucumber, which version, latest version is I'm using over here. And accordingly, we can mention dependencies, and whatever we are adding, it is also uh, from pom.xml file. It is also adding if we are some dependencies or some uh, file we are importing. So um, if I'll consider this browse best practices dot feature. So feature we can mention anything like heading wise, like knowledge junction. I have mentioned anything. So basically, um, Cucumber, it is like we are using Gherkin language. Like it is a simple English language. Like as you people can see, like how manual testers or other people are writing their documentation or test cases or test scenarios in given when then format, and accordingly we are mentioning all our scenarios and steps into our feature file in given when then format, and accordingly in to our step definition we are writing the logic or the Java or Selenium code. So basically so why to use BDD? So BDD is basically easy to adapt, like it is very easy to learn as it is in simple text language, as I mentioned Gherkin. And the benefit of Gherkin is it is supported in many languages, I guess 70 plus other languages it support. So if as I mentioned, we are using over in Gherkin language in other countries, different it will be China or any other countries, they can use their language as well. So Cucumber have that options as well. So uh, so basically, it is uh, um, um, easy way to communicate internally with the and with other stakeholders who is not comfortable with the English language. So they can use according to their preference. They can use languages. So the another advantage of use is for non-technical team members, like the simple they can relate whatever test cases we have mentioned separately, like we are mentioning feature files. Uh, so the simple language used scenarios like help even non-technical members to understand what is going on the software project. So accordingly, they can understand and whatever the requirement or whatever implementation we are mentioning into it, uh, everyone will be on the same phase. So that's why BDD approach is used instead of like TDD, or there is another approach is there like ATDD, acceptance test driven development, that is for advanced level. So basically we have used BDD approach. And um, like for, before that before setting up we have to mention in our setting files uh, like one plugin, I guess. um, of Cucumber plugin we have to mention from setting files. And we can use as I'm mentioning feature files background. So if I'll write suppose if I'm writing over here like, and so accordingly it is giving me options if I'm not or and or then accordingly it is giving me options because I have already mentioned plugin into it. So if we are not mentioning, then too we can use, but it will be like if we are having a plugin into it, so we can use like easy for us basically. So after that as I mentioned like we have mentioned given, when, and then. So we can use given, when, and also we are using like it will be like and is used mostly. Given, when, then is used in our test cases also. Basically whenever manual testers are writing test steps, they are using given, when, then. Rarely we can mention in our test cases, and if there is interdependent between the previous steps, like when user is enter and user accept cookie. So as of now, in our UAT, this is not added or has been removed. So I have marked this as a comment. And we can use one more. The but is also there, but is rarely used basically because in negative scenarios or in conditional scenarios we are using but. So we can use but also, like or we can write our feature over here. And we can mention given user is on login page. So if I'll write and it in my step definition class. So in step definition class, basically I have how I'm mapping. Like first I have written feature file given by scenario wise, scenario one, scenario two, or scenario. Like first I have mentioned login scenarios, and I have I have mentioned in the background. So background, what is the function of the background? Basically, I don't have to mention every, like if there is a we can consider if there is a unique or the scenarios which can be used again and again in the test cases. So instead of writing again and again, we can mention into our background keyword, and accordingly it will going to execute for every scenario. Like given like login formalities, whenever I want to open or execute my want to trigger my this UAT website of KJ. So it required login, like user acceptance, like username and password, and after that it will going to log in on that page, redirect on that page. So I have to for every scenario it is required. So I have mentioned in the background, the function of a background is that. So we can use that, and accordingly given in step definition, I guess we are mentioning our code, whatever we have written. This is a simple, I guess, it is a readable in manual testers, how they are writing. It is a simple language, like simple English we are following. And after that, we are mentioning, before that, I have created that whatever I have mentioned in config.properties over here. In key I have mentioned values. Accordingly I have to create object for that to use that for mapping. First I have like initialize. I have created my driver object, then login object for this. I'll come to this afterward. For config reader, I have created CR object, and it will going to accept from config.properties this file, and we can use like as we are use first will be like user is on login page for browse best practices. So for that, what will going to required first, like we have to trigger the uh, link or whatever website or URL we have to get, and after that followed by if it has a username or password before landing to the redirect or home page. So first we are like mentioning first we have to initialize our browser. So I've created a browser object cr.get property browser. From that browser value, it will going to take Chrome, and in Chrome I have mentioned separately. So for Chrome, if it is going to initialize, it will going to perform these activities, and it will going to consider only Chrome because I'm using switch case over here. So after that, driver once driver is initialized over here, so I can use that driver dot set browser dot browser and browser name, like whatever object I have created, it will going to store that, and it will going to initialize, and it will going to set that browser. After that, using whatever uh, like uh, uh, like page object model, like page object mod, like in step definition, we are writing all our test logic or Selenium or Java. Um, those who like know about Selenium, or like most of the people know, but those who are not worked on Selenium or Java, they can like um we are writing our code into our step definition. And in page object model, page object basically used to writing all our locator or inspecting or whatever elements we have to inspect basically. um, so page object uses the page factory concept, and like I have mentioned page factory dot init element, and accordingly using at the rate find by, and we can use like xpath or name or ID, and accordingly we can mention, and we can give any name, uname or password according to the preferences, whatever like button or whatever text box we are using. So I have accordingly to that I have mentioned, and we can use it over here in our step definition. So for inspecting element, we can like open our developer tool by pressing F12, and accordingly we can inspect like if it is on a login page basically. uh, till now, if anyone have any questions or queries, like I guess I'm very much going very fast. So hello.
Hello.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, nothing, Vijay. You can proceed.
yes. uh, if anyone is having any doubt or like I guess like people have not worked or used this framework, like earlier also, like from Shahid, I guess given so that BDD or Cucumber framework demo. So from that on onwards, like considering that framework, we have implemented all the modules and our codes we have implemented into it according to the requirement of KJ automation. So basically, so for inspecting element, like we can get uh, elements, and we can take the element from our whatever we can copy the XPath, and we can mention over here in our page object folder. I have created a class different for a different module, like we can mention by ID or by name, or we can inspect it by XPath. So like you guys can explore more by a lot of like tutorials are available for how to use this Selenium or XPath, or um, how to inspect the element. And after that, like as I said, in step definition, as I mentioned, this I have created this page object for different module, and I'm mentioning for this how I'm mapping. Like for first, I have written best browse best practices feature, and I'm going like into it. I'm now into the step definition file. I have created browse best practices steps, and for inspecting element, I have created a browse best practices page. So everything is separated and it is very much readable format. So that's why we are using this like Cucumber framework. Uh, so as we can create browse best practices page, and we have initialized the driver, and with the help of like here like helper wait helper is used. We can create our utility accordingly. Wait helper utility class has been created. So in which in our step definition also we can mention like our weights, or according to our preferences we can use implicit weight or explicit weight, fluent weight, and accordingly we can use into our code created separately. It is has been created like method like wait for element, and whatever it will going to do expected condition, it will wait for the element till the element is not present and wait for page load. So uh, so it has been used into the step definition and after that like URL system.get property, and URL has been passed key, and this key value is taking from this config.properties file. So after that driver.get URL, and after that it will wait for the page load. We can give any weight and according to our preferences. After that user enter username and password. So here also we can wait, and after that wait for element till the wait is element till that um, whatever we can say username element is present uname, and we can send the properties cr using cr.get properties username. We are sending the keys over here, and accordingly we are taking the values. So this is a dummy account we are using. So you can use your credential in production environment, I guess, uh, in knowledge junction. But if we are doing for a knowledge junction, another website also can be automated, any we can say Facebook or Amazon, any considering any whatever functionalities you have to perform. And after that user accept cookies. So this is basically a clicking on a button, accepting dot click method is used. Then here basically I have used then user is redirected to KJ. So basically first it will going to redirect on this page, and it will going to capture the title of this page. And I have also mentioned the capture the welcome to the knowledge junction using dot get text method, and it will going to click on this image, and after that main home page will come, and we can perform in which module we have to do the activities basically. So for that I have used data table concepts. We can use data tables basically used whenever there are tables are there. So in Cucumber data tables is come from Cucumber class only. So basically we have to mention in two pipe KJ landing page knowledge junction, and whatever I have used assertion over here. So basically this is my expected, this should be expectation, and accordingly I have used data tables, and test data. We can mention anything like test data or any name, and accordingly we can use over here. Like we are using list, so list of string, so it is accepting string, so list of string, and we have created the object details. So um, after that, um, I have mentioned like from it will going to consider from 0 to 1 and 2. It considered one table basically. So after that, it will going to consider like if details dot get 0 is not null, so then it will going to first it will going to take driver dot get title. As I mentioned, it will going to take the title of this page if we are inspecting element, and in our so it will going to print knowledge junction page, knowledge junction. So we are just verifying whether it is redirected to the landing KJ page or not. So accordingly, expected and actual values we are mentioning. So get title it, and here we are our expected. So it will going to match. So accordingly, we are using like assert dot assert equal. We can use according to our preferences like soft assert or hard assert. So basically, I have used assert dot assert equal, and like first I have taken my this expected value from this data table, and after that actual options I'm getting from get title from the browser page, and accordingly have used like thread dot sleep because the performance or like sometimes the performance of the website is slow, or how much it is responsive. So accordingly, according to that, we can use our waits. Like it can wait for some time, and again it will going to start its execution. So uh, this is like one login scenarios, and after that we can I have considered like this when user will going to click on hover on these best practices, then user will able to see browse best practices, add best practices, and accordingly we can perform whatever activities. We can check whatever text element or whatever we have to automate. So first like I can explain this also. Like when user just want to know till now if anyone having any doubt, or like I'm going any uh, like fast, or people can ask the question. I guess
Hey,
I'm
Vijay,
not
Felix.
able to.
Felix,
Felix,
yeah.
yes,
One question
expected
from
you
my
to
side.
say. Yes, yes.
Nothing. Can we do some upload functionality by this
From
Cucumber framework? Upload functionality like Excel upload and reading the Excel one by one,
yes, yes,
uploading.
definitely we can
Yeah.
do that, like as we are using um, uh, data tables, or we can from our Excel also we have to mention or we have to create the utility separate utility for that Excel, like we have to accept from Excel whatever the like data or whatever the inputs, so we can use that as well. Yes,
Okay. Yeah. Good. No
yes.
problem.
So as of now, we don't have a requirement we can implement that um, like it's like as I'm saying, BDD is majorly used, and there is lot more thing to implement in that. So not like if people are not working on KJ automation, so they can also like learn, or they can like implement a lot more things into it, and from learning side it is very much like useful. uh, yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. uh, like I have mentioned background, so I have explained the concept, like whatever code I have written. So like those who don't know about Selenium or Java, like they can like this is the code we are writing, it's basically a Java and Selenium code we are mentioning, and nothing else. It is simply similar to that only, but the thing is we are following BDD approach using Cucumber. We can use another, not like Cucumber is only available. There is depend on like what I can say, technology or languages like for Python or any other Ruby language, people can write that using. There are different tools are also there, like Cucumber is there, JBehave, and any other also is available. So you can, people can implement that as well, basically. Uh, so basically it is like first features has been considered, we have mentioned simply given when then, and it is mapping to our step definition class, and from step definition it is considering whatever inspect element in from the page object, and accordingly it is executing like runner class also I have created. So I'll come to that afterwards. First after that, like user hover on best practice. uh, so just I have mentioned like actions, like it will going to move to the element and will going to perform. I have mentioned like best login lobj dot best practices. So I have mentioned over here best practices like XPath basically. So it will going to come over here. It will going to wait and it will going to hover on that, and it will going to check these tools are available or not, or it will going to like find that. So basically like this, and following element should pop up. Then like use the same data table concept I have used over here also. So for drop down or any like we can like data table concepts is very much useful at that time. Like and accordingly we can verify like at zeroth value, like this is get text. We are taking the get text and we are storing that into our one of our like we can give any name, and we are assert using assert. We are checking the condition whether it is equal or not. If it is not equal, it will going to throw an error, or it will going to throw an exception. So basically a lot more time there it will be throw, like there are a lot of exceptions are also there. So accordingly we have to manage exception handling, we have to handle exceptions. So um, yes, and after that like following element should pop up. So I'm mentioning into our data tables like browse best practices, I'm passing this key like values, and it will going to check this exact it is there or not, followed by same thing I'm doing over here. So this is all about like framework. And after that KJ hooks. Basically, KJ hooks is used like whenever we want to write anything before or after. Uh, like we have to mention basically in how we are using in our JUnit or test ng. So similarly here also annotations is used, like before is there, at the rate after is there. There are another annotations are also there, at the rate before step and at the rate before after step. So basically like at the rate before. So if we are mentioning the at the rate before, it will going to execute before every execution, like every scenario it will going to, or every feature file it will going to execute. And in the like at the rate after, we can like it is mentioned like it will going to capture the screenshot of the failed scenario. So it is easy for like for me or to the person who is working, so to detect like what on which web page it is like on which page it is the scenario has been failed. So we have like documented, and it is being stored into our folder, like it will going to take the screenshot of the failed scenarios. And after at the rate after, instead of mentioning into our code, like it is tedious to mention every time into our code, we can mention into this also. Like that's why we are using hooks, like whatever activities we have to perform before or after accordingly. So we can use at the for closing browser, we can use close at driver.close. Driver.close if we are using, so it will going to close the execution. And if you want, you are using driver.quit, it will going to exit all the like whatever browser it is opened, or it will going to like terminate, or we're going to quit from that. And after that whatever test cases I'm running, we can run with the help of a feature file also, but separately I have mentioned my runner class, in which I'm using as of now like JUnit runner basically. So in which I have mentioned Cucumber options like a feature. In feature, I have mentioned my feature folder. All the features will be available. And in glued, I have mentioned like it will going to glue the step definition folder, in which all the step definition classes are available, and hooks I have mentioned like it will going to consider that. And in plugin, like it will pretty I'm passing like it will going to uh, like extent report, it will going to generate after execution. It is generating HTML extent report. And if I'm mentioning monochrome equal to true, because the output, or it will be going to in a readable format, and publish is equal to true. And after that I'm executing. So I'll just till now, if anyone having any doubt, just let me know. I guess I was very fast, or
Vijay, you
hello.
can continue.
Yes.
Yeah.
If anyone having any doubt, they can ask, or any type of doubt how to implement, or how to like they can use, they can ask. uh, till now, like it is like separately we are using over BDD approach, like we can use TDD. It is BDD is, in that we are using our Cucumber method. So in BDD, like we are using BDD because everyone is on a same pace, like whether it could be a stakeholder, or it could be a developer, or it could be a tester, automation, or manual. So it is very much like collaboration and transparency between every each one of them. And in TDD approach, earlier it was like stakeholder are giving that requirement, and developer and testers, they are developing, and they don't interact directly. So that's why approach of BDD, behavior driven development, has the name suggest. According to the behavior, we can raise the question directly to the stakeholders, whatever the requirement or whatever the implementation is there, and how to implement and how to execute the thing. So like simply it was in manual testers, like manually given when then it was written. So with the using this automation, we have mentioned all the steps, test steps, and we have written the logic, whatever code in Selenium, and executing that. So if I'll execute that, just give me a minute. First, I'll run only one module, and show you how it is working. I'm considering only two scenarios as of now. We can run like right click, and as I'm using JUnit runner over here, we can use testng runner for parallel execute. Like it is how it is sequentially executing, like first one execution scenario will execute, and followed by everything it will going to like perform, and after it will going to close the browser, then second scenario will going to execute. So there is an opportunity to run all the scenarios parallelly also. So testng also provide that approach, running all the scenarios, all the browser instance will going to open parallelly, and it will going to execute simultaneously. So as of now, like KJ is not supporting parallel execution. So we have tried parallel execution using testng, and so that has been not implemented just because of the response like KJ website have. So how it is you people can see how it is performing through automation. Whatever code I have mentioned, first scenario will executed, and after that it will going to trigger the second scenarios, and it will going to accept the username and password, and accordingly it will going to land to the page and perform the functionality which we have to do. So we can execute multiple feature file also, at the same time, as I have considered only one feature file according to one module. I can run two feature file or mm, depend on how I have to execute. So basically, while using this, it is like we are instead of doing manual tasks or manually, so we can do it by through automation using BDD Cucumber framework, and we can perform all the activities through automation, and it will going to execute and check whatever functionalities is present or not, or um, like uh, um, um, like as you can see, both the test cases has been passed, and after that uh, Cucumber report is also generated, so we can see that also, Cucumber report, and uh, it is mentioned over here, whatever I have mentioned in my feature file, two test cases has been passed basically. This is a background, this is a basic common scenarios, background login scenario, and this is scenario one and this is scenario two, and uh, I guess from their side they have added extra like one more edit, but like feature over here we can edit in onto our file for a, like we can this it can showcase to other people also, like whatever scenarios we have executed or run. So this is like Cucumber report, and another way there is, as I've said, HTML report is also generating, auto generating, and PDF report. So if I'll click on that, HTML report is also generated, all the scenarios has been passed basically, and we can see that this is our one feature file, and after that I've considered one scenarios, and it has been passed, and this is second scenarios. If there will be possibility if the test cases are failing, so it will going to um, take the screenshot of that scenario also, and it will, we can check that also, and after that PDF report is also going to generate, in which can see how much time it taken for every scenario, every steps, and how much skipped or failed scenarios are there, everything in a detailed format it is there. So uh, it can be showcased to the stakeholders or the uh, we have a proof that whatever test cases we are running or executing, so we can do that. Till now, is anyone having doubt or any questions they can ask me? Hello. Hello.
Hello, yeah, Vijay, it's okay.
No one is having any doubt, or I'm going very fast, or it is very silent moment, so I won't be able to understand like how much 17 peoples are there. Like, okay.
We are
Oh,
getting all, like, you can
yes.
continue.
Okay. Like as I have executed one module, one feature file, I can show for two feature file at a time. I'll consider only one more, like two scenarios, and we can execute that. uh, we can do that similarly, the same approach we have to do, like using runner class we have to run our test cases. So it will going to perform for first feature file, and after that for second. So for failed scenario also, like if the test cases or scenario is failing, so it will going to show whatever uh, error or exceptions is there, and it will also capture the screenshot of that as well. So this is like a sequential execution we are doing. Parallel execution also I can show you people. like, but that has been not implemented or successfully implemented basically. Um I've tried using test ng data provider method, but I guess whenever I won't have to do like parallel execution, multiple browser instance should open. So at that time, if first browser is opening and second browser gets stuck, so that is like it is not accepting or not considering the behavior of that parallel execution as of now. So I have after this execution, like I'll show, I have also uh, I've taken the explanation video for that also. If anyone want to do further enhancement or implementation or dive into that, they can do that and implement for parallel execution. So because if parallel execution happens, so it save lot of time, like how for every scenario it is taking 1.5 minute or 1 minute basically. If we are executing uh, 80 90 100 scenarios, so it will going to take that time. In parallel execution, within a few minutes, like multiple browser instance we can open, and accordingly we can execute our test cases. So as we have completed phase one and phase two, like in phase one, we have considered two module, and phase two, we have also considered two module, and we have successfully completed, and followed by like a further enhancement and implementation will going to happen. And once full implementation of the KJ automation will going to happen, then with the help of this framework, it can be all the test cases can be executed and checked instead of that manual efforts will going to be reduced, and it will like uh, can be implemented whatever further scenarios or whatever like um, further test cases are there, so it also can be implemented in that as well. It will take 2 more. Yes. Till now, anyone having any doubt, they can ask, like related to framework or related to explanation or anything. As you people can see, like I have considered two feature file, and I have like all the test cases has been passed, like two for this module and two for this module, and we can see the in last we can see the report also, Cucumber report. Like earlier it was this, and latest report is this one, I guess. No, this one. Okay, for two, this is for feature one, and this is for another feature module. If we want to, as I have for Cucumber report, we are it is generating. It is um only for like temporary temporary file, or it is generated after 1 week, it is going to get deleted from their side. So if we want to for permanently, we want to store the all the reports for our further reference, we can store. We just have to mention our Cucumber publish token. Like as I mentioned, I'm using my this my credentials over here, and accordingly I have mentioned this Cucumber publish token, and in run in yes, in configuration we have to mention over here like Cucumber publish enable true and Cucumber publish token. This is, as I've mentioned, the same thing which I have. So individually, if another person are using, they can mention there it is auto generated publish token. If they are using their GitHub, I guess GitHub credential, and they can store on that uh, Cucumber reports. So basically this is all about the framework which we have implemented, and we have whatever we have done till now. Anyone having any doubt, they can ask me, or anyone, those who have not understood anything, they want more clarity, they can ask. Okay, silence, I consider that no one having any doubt. So I'll take few more minutes just to showcase one more. I'll not take much of your time. Like I have for parallel execution, I have considered, just want to show this runner file only. For parallel execution, if I have to do parallel execution, basically, similarly, it has a different folder structure method, like as I have mentioned in my normal JUnit framework. Uh, Just I have mentioned only in one Java, SRC test Java, I have to mention all my Cucumber object and utility in this. The same folder name I have to create again in my resource, and I have to mention feature file accordingly. And in here I have used hello Cucumber. We can give any name. Here also I have give same as per their documentation on the BDD Cucumber. They have mentioned that we have to use the same name for feature file. We have to mention in resource, and accordingly in step definition and hooks and run runner class, we have to mention into the same folder. And accordingly I have tried for this also on a Facebook website, and we can try it for our KJ website also. And in runner class, as I've in my approach, as we are using JUnit approach, JUnit runner class. This is the same options we are using over here, but the thing is run with Cucumber options we are using over here also. The one thing we have to extend one more class, abstract test ng Cucumber test, and accordingly we have to override data provider method, and we can pass the parameter or value as parallel equal to, and accordingly we can run our scenarios in parallel. So I can just give me a minute. Okay, I'll consider the for this also only consider two scenarios. So look, till now what implementation has been happened, like it is not successful implementation, but then to I can showcase, or anyone want to implement further for parallel execution, they can try. I can provide the video for the explanation also, which I have did for this framework. Both the browser has been opened simultaneously, but the problem which we are facing, it is only considering the only one browser instance and another browser got stuck. So in the and what happened in this current instance driver browser, it is accepting two times the values. For this also, for this feature also, it is considering that. So like parallel execution, it is not accepting as of now. So we are facing the problem, and like those who want to do or perform that execution, they can try that also. I can provide this also. Okay.
One just I want to add
Yes.
here, Vijay. So basically, this is not a framework related issue.
Yes.
This is
Yes. Yes.
application level issue because that KJ application is not supporting for the parallel execution. Okay, so we have tried multiple option like TestNG or JUnit, but that the application is when we try to open the second browser, so that time it's totally hanged. That application is in not responding mode. So basically, that application is not supporting. Okay, so that's why we are just executing whatever the test cases we have automated it. That test cases is executing back to back. Okay, so one by one they executing, and we executed whatever we developed. So accordingly, that time, so we are saving around 50% of execution time as of now. And I think we automated around 180 test cases, and still there are 700 test cases needs to automate. Okay, so anybody wants to contribute, okay, with your additional with your addition of your daily day-to-day task. If anyone wants to continue with this automation, or anyone wants to learn the BDD framework, so just let me know. Okay, so we will provide that code base, and you can just start automating the basic scenarios, and you can learn at your end as well. Yeah. Yes, Vijay, continue.
Yes, thank you, Sachin. Yes, like as Sachin said, like those who like as I've explained for parallel execution also, and those who want to do contribution in and want to learn and eagerly want to learn the things in BDD and Cucumber framework. So because it is widely used, according to my experience, so they have additional, so they can contribute into our KJ knowledge junction execution. And um yes, and if anyone having any doubt, they can ask now also. Okay, I consider no one having any doubt, or like we have completed 1 hour, or I'll not take much more time. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Vijay. Thanks for the session.
Okay, thank you so much attending the session, guys.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
I'll
you.
Okay.
provide the recording for further those who want to refer, and those who want to want to perform or want to work, they can mm, they can uh, ask Sachin, or for the framework, or they want to implement, or they have to perform anything on that KG. Yes.
Okay. Sure, Vijay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining.